I was trained in the restaurant business in Florida, and it was hardcore. It was companies that put you, I have no formal education, but the companies we worked for were national, big companies, and they would send us to school. And I'm like, I'm not going to do well in this. I'm not a good student.
What?
How to wait tables
Oh.
on the highest level, though.
I got you.
We were all tuxedos,
yeah, right.
white gloves.
Right.
And it's not how to wait tables. I mean, you could figure that, but this is like almost like a play, the way they want every dining experience to go on for one of their members.
Well,
There was a membership food club for Mega Millionaires.
A good server, it is a performance.
But we had to learn Russian service, tableside cooking, where I made Caesar salad,
Cool.
tableside from scratch. I'd make cherries Jubilee, bananas Foster. You had to go to a little cooking seminar with this company, and they would teach you like the basics.
Were you able to get through that school?
Yeah, I did, because I loved it. I mean, it was pretty simple, and it wasn't studying.
No pipe
It was no pipe bombs. They showed me how to do it, and I did it. And,
Okay.
it worked out well. I was pretty good, I think.
All right, so there's the setup that got you to your first restaurant.
Yeah, I was trained by some of the best. I had my friend Barb and Bill Letman. I bring them up all the time because I learned so much from them.
So how did they mentor you?
He taught me everything, and he did it in he and Barbara, his wife at the time, were tough, but great. Like, they were nice about it. Like, you got to get this, but we love you. Like, if you don't get this, you're out of here. But we love you. And so you knew, like, there was 50 people that wanted that job. They were the hot restaurant people at that time.
Wow.
And I learned so much from it. And then, irony of the whole thing is, I bought the Village Smithy, and I tore it to the ground, and I built Patrick and James, that big, beautiful building that won awards in downtown Glencoe. It was my first commercial building.
Patrick and James.
That was our fine dining.
Cool.
It was, I got voted top 10
That's you
best
and your
restaurant.
son. That's what,
Yeah, my two boys, Patrick and James.
That's
yeah.
so cool. Oh,
But
it's
that
your
fine
two
dining
boys,
stuff sucks. So I just had to get that off the.
That
out of
doesn't
me.
seem to fit your personality.
No,
I'm
not that guy.
Yeah, I'm just.
I wanted to do it because I was trained in it. I knew how to do the food. I knew how to do a lot of it because I worked it. I didn't like fine dining though, but that brought in the real top dog celebrities all over the world, and we fed presidents. We fed presidents' kids. We fed.
Wow.
I mean, everybody in Chicago. Everybody, mayors, every basketball player, every football player. The CEOs, the owners of the Bulls, the Bears, the Hawks, they all became my
And
friends.
this is now what year?
1994, I think.
Okay. And
I
so
had
you're
1,
still,
2,
at
3,
this
4.
point-
I had 4 restaurants.
At this point, you're already a millionaire
Yeah.
because that first pasta joint made you a millionaire.
The first 2 got me there. The
I
town
want
next
to
to
know
me.
about that moment when a bank statement arrives and you're looking at that balance, going, "How did I get there?"
Yeah, I mentioned it to Mary one night when we had just bought a home in Kenilworth for $1 million. It's our first.
How involved was she the whole time? I mean, she knew
Stay-at-home mom.
you were doing well, but did she know the finances? Was she your bookkeeper?
So this is an interesting.
Who was your bookkeeper
This
this
is where I said to her, we were laying in bed in Kenilworth, and I think we had both the boys by then, and it was late, and I just looked at her and I said, "You know we're millionaires, right?" And she goes, "I figured." And I said, "I don't know." And she goes, "Who cares?" And I go, "I don't care. I just want you to know where we are financially. It's getting pretty thick." And she's like, "Okay, who cares? Just let's move on. Let's go to bed." So we did.
The cool thing about your story that people will hopefully take away is that you didn't plan to be rich. You had goals and you worked your ass off. Okay? And now that you come full circle, and
I wouldn't take that life back for
Isn't that
anything.
something?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So complicated. So let's call it what it is. Having everything you want, sure, that's great. I can get anything I want. I go anywhere I want. I don't look at price tags at the Gap because that's where I shop.
The Gap?
Or say I'm not a fancy clothes guy.
right.
I know jewelry. No, I'm just not that guy. It's it's good. I mean, how can you say it's not? You're being an asshole if you say it's not great.
Right.
It's great, but it's complicated. It's everybody wants to have lunch with you and pitch their idea. And listen, I had to do that later in life when I became poor again, and I was losing on my last restaurant, which was our biggest loser. I had to go pitch myself and find money again. I was poor. I mean, I was going down the toilet. I'm really poor now, but back then I was on my way down. So I saw the other side, and you know what? Less is more. And I know these are all cliches, but Mary and I are in a great spot. We're in 1,000 square feet apartment. We don't own anything.
Yeah.
And we're okay, man.
Gratitude.
We're happy. She
Would
loves.
you use the word gratitude?
I use it in AA every day. I fill up my gratitude list and lose the attitude list.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Right.
Jeff, that's a serious.
So, if I remember from a previous conversation, you were worth somewhere around 17 million at one point.
Yeah.
Did you have gratitude then?
I was miserable. I was an alcoholic. I was still actively drinking back then.
Man.
I was fat. I was 260 pounds.
Wow.
I was unhealthy, high blood pressure, taking all this medicine.
Could you imagine a guy in that financial situation with the attitude you carry now with you of gratitude and perspective, and perspective by that I mean what's really important? You would have been a powerful individual.
Yeah, and I did give a lot away. I picked up
course.
other people's tuitions on their kids. I did. Because I could,
Yeah.
and I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
And the more you get to know me, the more you'll realize the dough was probably the demise of my life.
Just know that I'm enjoying getting to know you in these conversations a lot, and I see that what happened to you is incredibly rare. You were blessed beyond belief, but it wasn't a complete accident like you like to think it was. You worked very hard.
I did, and I was always in on deals. Like if there was another opportunity,
You understood
somebody had
opportunity.
Yeah, and I would jump on it.
And you know what else? A lot of people understand opportunity, but they don't got the cojones to follow through.
Yeah, and I didn't care. I seriously didn't care about the money. The money was like, you said looking at your bank balance.
Yeah.
It's like looking at your trophy case. I mean,
Of course. Yeah.
yeah, it
That's
meant
exactly-
something. I
Dollars
guess
or trophies.
they're rewarding me for hard work with filling up my bank account. But it wasn't me. I mean, I did screwy things with that. I never should have bought the boats and Maseratis and Bentleys and.
If you had one of them in a storage locker right now somewhere.
Yeah, I don't have anything anymore. And I'm thrilled about that. I don't need anything. I think I was trying to prove I had such a complex about not going to school. And, it's weird. You go to New Trier, I think it was 99% of the kids go to school.
Go to college. Yeah.
Go to college.
Right.
I mean, it's one of those weird schools like that everybody gets educated. Like it's just
Well,
normal.
So
I think
that area had a lot of best ofs, and I think New Trier is thought of as one of the best high schools in the country too, public. Anyway.
I didn't take it. You know what I took advantage of? The ceramics program. I loved ceramics,
that's
PE,
cool.
and chasing girls.
Well,
That
let's
was
make
my-
an ashtray. Nobody has ashtrays anymore.
No, thank God.
Isn't that weird? You used to go to
It
your
is
grandma's
weird.
house and they'd have 4 or 5 ashtrays, half of them already filled.
Try to explain to a 20-year-old that there was ashtrays in the airplane seats.
Yeah.
On both sides.
Yeah.
You could have 2 cigarettes
Yeah,
going.
that's so stupid.
Like you smoked in planes. I remember, I always said non-smoking, but
It's not
we're in a
non-smoking.
tube.
Yeah.
Like who's really a non-smoking
There's
in here?
nicotine in the air everywhere.
Yes.
Well, I'm looking forward to the next one, and we're going to try to talk about, our ADD kicks in, but we're going to try
Yes.
to talk about how the money built as quickly as it did, and coming right up to that point of how it all went away. And when you say all, it's all.
No, I filed bankruptcy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have anything. I had to sell everything. Everything had to be gone.
Gotcha.
I had a watch collection.
All right.
it just goes on and on.
You're not going to want to miss the rest of the story.
No, it's going to be good.
All
Just
right.
getting started.